It's first tree, ain't it, man?
Yes.
Good stuff, very good stuff. Just fed the pups and about to get going. A little bit. Kind of stayed in the house for a little bit this morning there before I got going. So at the end of this video, you're going to get to see Gabe cut his first tree down. I set it up for him. We were in a kind of a front yard situation, and I'm working with him on explaining to him the ins and outs of everything on cutting trees, notches, hinges, all that stuff like that. Because if you can precision fell trees, oftentimes you can charge the fees of removing a tree from the top down, but you can walk up to it and actually drop it at one time. And that's one of the ways that I roll through a lot of these jobs as fast as I do. Sure, I have the lift, work out of it all the time, taking trees down from top down that you obviously can't do that on. But I can, a lot of times, man, a lot of these yards, I figure out, what it is, and then walk in there and bomb them. But anyhow, you're gonna get to see Gabe do that and me kind of coach him through it. I'm so proud of Gabe. Gabe worked so hard. Yesterday we did 13 hours. He had almost 40 hours in 3 days with me this week. So one week he works 3 days. The next week he generally works 2 days, kind of flip-flops. So the other days in the week he does schoolwork. And yesterday job I was on, I couldn't film anything, but I had a situation with the lift, and I've had it with my Howlette, and I've had it with this one a couple other different times. But right now, as wet as it is, you're gonna have occasionally, when you swing it and stuff, and you get out over these outriggers a certain way, you're gonna push one down sometimes. And on the Howlette, if one kind of got light, they've got sensors in them that lets the machine know if it gets light. And the Howlette, if one got light, it would you could go down and that was it, so you get back down. This one right here, back in October, I was working, I had one outrigger in an irrigation type situation yard, and I swung way out, and the machine is designed to stay on 3 outriggers. It'll work on that, but if one gets light, it's gonna let you know, it's gonna start fussing at you and everything. Well, that happened to me, and I was able to, come back in and then swing back around and, and get down and reposition the machine and all that, and everything was good. Well, this past Saturday, I was working on the live oak, pruning it. I had it happen a couple times. I kept having to put an outrigger in a mulch bed, and the mulch kept sinking on me a little bit. No big deal. I could come down, I could still, if I come back in, I could still work with it and everything. But yesterday, I was working in this place where I couldn't film, and I was set up. Yard was really soft, and well, I say really soft, it's kind of so-so, but I set where I had to set up at. I set this outrigger right here, right against the edge of a swimming pool, not on the concrete, but right in the edge of the grass, right against the side of the pool. And I was working, there were some tree limbs I was gonna take down, but I didn't want to take them down first. I needed to get the ones back here first and then work my way back out, because you don't want to cut these up here and you still got to cut those, and then these right here, you done dropped them anyway, when you can't go that way with the machine till you move the limbs. So that's what I was gonna do. And I set up, I had been working probably about an hour in the air, I guess. Was fixing to come down, move the machine to cut the limbs that were right over it. Well, to come down, I needed to swing out of the limbs. Well, that put me then swinging out over the pool. Well, when I swung out over the pool and got dead center of it, I was about 40 foot in the air. And when I did, all the weight of the boom and the basket and me and everything in it, it pushed on this outrigger right here, and it got it light enough to where I hadn't had this happen till yesterday. It shut it completely down. I mean, the machine was like, not today. You ain't doing anything else, buddy. So I tried to do everything. I sent both saws down, all the straps down. I sent everything down out of the basket that I could. And I had a belt on. I had my pencil harness on. This right here is a load cell for the entire machine, and it's actually the brain stem of the whole machine. It tells the weight and everything. I got everything out of the basket I could. I even got out of the basket. Of course, I'm safetied off. I got out of the basket and I stood on this part right here to completely get the weight. I reset the machine 2 or 3 times from up in the basket, and it was still locked down. The only thing I could do was I could move the jib and I could oscillate the basket. Nothing else would work. And so Gabe said, he said, what you gonna do? I said, well, I ain't got no choice, so I'm gonna have to come down. Keep in mind now, I am dead center over a pool, so I sucked the jib all the way down, oscillated the basket over, and of course that put me, the basket will spin, this will spin 90 degrees right here against this. So it put me then where I could reach that boom section then. And so I had a stable braid up there with me. I threw the stable braid on it, choked it, and throwed a munner hitch on a carabiner. And I told Gabe, I said, all right, I said, when I go to come down, I said, you're gonna have to help me get out away from this pool, you know, because I'm gonna end up in the pool. And so as I come down the rope, then he started pulling on the rope till he pulled me over to where my feet could touch the edge of the wall of the pool. And when I got right there, then he grabbed the back of my legs right quick and then kind of helped me to where I could kind of stand up. Well, then once I did that, then I got, you can put it in manual mode. So that's what I did, pulled the covers off of it, switched to 2 valves right there. And then you can work everything from the turntable up, you can work it with these valves. So you got 1 through 5 right there. You can manually mash those valves right there and you can work it. So we switched it over. I got it sucked in just a little bit. As soon as I did it, the machine came back alive. I could put it back on the remote control and roll on. But Gabe said, he said, how cool is that? He said, you end up over a pool when that happens. You know, I said, I know, right, man? But it was all good. There's not a lot of stuff about this machine that I do not know. I've got, I'm gonna do a video. I've got almost 300 hours on it now, and that is working hours on this thing. So I've spent since July. I got it in mid-July or whatever last year, and I've spent a lot of time in the air on this thing and what have you. But I'm gonna do a video of different things that I've had to do, that I've figured out, that I've learned, that may help somebody else. And I'm also gonna do a video of how to put these things in manual mode where you can work them, because you can also, you can put it in manual mode here to where you work that stuff there, and then you can switch it into a different manual mode, and all of these right here controls all of this stuff down here, your outriggers, your tracks, your tracking, all of that stuff on those levers right there is what that controls, to where you can get yourself out of a sticky situation. Because there's when you buy a lift like this, they come out and they train you on it. However, there's a lot of these lifts that are sold used that the people who buy them, they have no idea. They get them, they're running them, they don't know what like the different stuff, how to put them in manual mode and all that. But kind of unique situation yesterday. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. I've always wondered, well, you know, what would it be like to get down, and it really wasn't no big deal to come down on a munner and do that. That was the first time I had ever thrown a munner on a carabiner too, by the way. So I was a little apprehensive. I knew it would work, but you know, in a situation like that, and of course I told Gabe, I said, hey, I said, if something happens and I do come down the road pretty quick, I said, the worst thing is I'm gonna be wet. I said, I'm gonna be cold and wet. And so anywho, good stuff. But enjoy this last clip with Gabe. Again, I'm so proud of him. He works so hard for me. It's crazy. So when I paid him last night, I added his hours up, seen what they were, and I gave him a good fat bonus this week too. So yeah, man, hope y'all have a great day. I'm fixing to go whack one real quick. We're supposed to have storms tomorrow. I got a guy that's kind of worried about a tree, so I'm fixing to head over to his place and smoke it. I could drop it whole if it wasn't for a dead-gum service line, power line coming in right there. I just need to get some of the top out of it. It's not that bad of a pine. We'll go get the top out of it real quick and then drop it on the ground and we'll clean it up. And that's gonna be it. So appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. Later, now you got your trigger set right here, so pull the saw out and just, you ain't got to be right in line with it. You can be above it a little bit if you want to, but I like to try to get in line with it and take the top of the bar and cut in there just like that, and it'll pop and take off, and then you can leave.
And then when I do that, should I cut it like this or go from the other side?
No, cut it from like you're doing right there. Yeah, you're fine. Crank it up, and then because it's first tree, ain't it, man?
Yes.
Good stuff, very good stuff.